All right, guys, we are back, and we're going to be talking about conserving capital. This is actually an extremely important topic that I'm going to let RJ take it from here when it deals with conserving capital. All right, RJ, tell me a little bit about what does that mean? What does that look like? What is that concept?
You know, everybody brings something different to the table, whether you've got good negotiating skills, whether you understand marketing, whether you understand lead generation, whether you understand money or you have money. But if you don't have money, that should not be a limited belief in anybody's mind in the real estate business, because you're only limited by the things that you put there. The only ceiling over your head is the one that you put there. And so there's never a money problem, there's only an idea problem. Okay? And that's from Robert Schuller from the Impossibility Thing from about 30 years ago that just hit me. But it's true. And because if you don't have the money, there's so many different ways to get it in this business. And when I started, I did not have a lot of money.
Yeah, me either. I was negative money, actually.
I remember right now, I remember running an ad in the paper. It said 16% guaranteed on your money. And I got a call from Washington after somebody in the banking industry saw my ad. And I explained to them, no, I'm not a lender. I am buying and selling mortgages. And we had a long conversation, but we got that straight. Not germane to this conversation, but the point was I didn't have money. I actually put an ad in the paper. I'd already hit on family, I already hit on friends. But again, it's only an idea problem. Then I'd learned how to creatively structure transactions. And when you can creatively structure transactions, you can stretch your money a long, long, long way.
Yes.
And I make no exaggeration when I say that I have bought hundreds of properties with literally no money down. And oftentimes I would buy those properties at 0% interest over as long a period of time as I could possibly make.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is simply this. One, I didn't have the money. Two, I wanted low payments going forward.
Yeah.
It's all a matter of the presentation and finding out the person's need. It doesn't work with the person that, no, I need to buy another house for my family to move into. It works for the people that don't have a greater need for their money today, and they can use it in the future.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. I got a perfect example. These people they had a house for sale, and this is in Georgia, okay? And this is a fresh example, so it's in my head. And they had it on the market for $240, and we kind of agreed on the phone for like $180. And I asked them, why are you selling the house? And they lived a couple hundred miles away. They'd already moved.
Yeah.
So the first thing I wanted to do was make them make an investment in time at a really uncomfortable time. So they met me at 8 in the morning. I knew they had to get up at 5 in the morning. And I knew that they would never want to do this again. And they were already mad at the realtor.
I love this. Okay.
And I said, tell me what you're going to do with the money. Well, we just bought this other house and we want to pay it off. I said, really? That's what you're going to do with the money? Always know what they need the money for. Do not, if you're afraid to ask that question, you need a different seminar, okay? Because you got to be able to ask. You have to be able to ask.
That's true.
And I said, so let me ask you, what are the payments on that? And they said they're whatever they were. I can't remember. I think about $1,300. And what's the interest rate? That I do remember. It was 3.1.
Oh, wow.
And I said, and how many years is it for? It was for 15 years. I said, I am really sure that I can help you. I'm quite positive that I can make this work. Let's meet at the house. So we met at like 8 in the morning. They've been up for like hours and hours and hours. And we went through the house, and I didn't knock the house. People don't like to have their house knocked. I kept saying, this is a really nice house. I love your house. Some things can be done. Yes, you can see the carpet, you can see some paint, but really, you've got a beautiful house. I would love to do business with you guys. I said, let me ask you, if I could make the payments to you every month and match up your payments, I can do this transaction with you guys right now. You'll know. You just want to make sure you don't have that payment, right? Right. Well, how about we work out something where I make those payments to you every month, and I'll make them equal the exact same amount, so they're paid off in the exact same amount of time, and then you never got to worry about that. Could that work for you and your family? Okay, so that's an add-on close. Can that work for you and your family? Bingo. They said yes.
Yeah.
And so we structured a deal where, and my goal was, I knew I could get them at 180, but now that I was there, I wanted to get them at 170 because that's just the way my mind works, and I did. And I wrote a check for $10,000, and they held a mortgage for me at 3.175% over 15 years. The house, it was really, right now today, it is worth about $240,000. I bought this maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year ago. I can't always track.
Nice.
But I've only got 14 more years to pay. So for you young people in this business, and if you listen to any of the other modules that we've been creating here, I talked about how people need to use leverage, especially young people. If you don't have money, and eventually this stuff pays off.
Yes.
So I was able to conserve all that capital. And I conserved my credit. I didn't have to go to the bank. I only had to write a check for $10,000. I probably put about $10,000 into the house, and there you go.
Now you're gonna hear somebody that's gonna say, "Okay, I totally get that deal, but RJ, that's you, RJ. I don't have $10,000. How do I create that? What do I do? I mean, I'm scared just to have the conversation."
Yeah, for that guy that doesn't have the $10,000, call me. I'll take that deal every day, and I'll work it out with you. And I'm dead serious when I say that. This is what I do. Finding out a seller's needs is the most important part of this business. Conserving your capital is critical, especially when you have limited capital. Now, I know other guys that are in this business. Some people that were born with platinum spoons in their mouth, if you will. And they could pay retail for every house. They didn't have to learn how to negotiate. They just had to know how to sign a check.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that for me. And I did have an inheritance. My grandfather did leave me $500. Okay, that's it. Everything I got in my life, I worked for.
Yeah.
I hustled for, I sacrificed for, but it's a skill set that I was able to develop, and learning how to develop rapport that allowed me to create these really creative solutions for people.
Yeah.
To conserve my capital so I could get involved in as many transactions as possible. Leverage, okay, and we call this leverage. The wise use of leverage can make you absolutely wealthy. Contrarily, the poor use of leverage will make you broke. So if you start investing and you start buying houses and you're paying 12% interest, you just transferred all the profit to the lender.
Yeah.
Just so you know that. If you get these hard money loans, it's okay to get a hard money loan. I don't even care if I pay 20%. If I can make 60%.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm getting out of it fast.
Yeah.
And you can borrow expensive interest rates, okay? You can borrow at expensive interest rates if it's for a short period of time, it doesn't hurt. Long period of time, it will kill you.
I love it. I think we're going to end right at the "it will kill you" part. So, guys, hopefully you got a lot out of this module. Again, I really want you to hone in on this. There's going to be some worksheets right below this video pertaining to this. But the biggest thing I can say is you've got to not only listen to these modules, but re-listen to them. And if you can get one good thing out of it, that's actually what you want to start practicing. So have a conversation with somebody, mess it up. Well, I don't even know where to find that. Well, we've got modules on finding deals as well. But guys, see you on the other side. Hopefully you got something out of this. If you did, please write it below. Or if there's something missing in this module you want to know more about, let us know in the comment section.
I want to add a point.
Yes, go ahead.
Because you said something very important. If you don't know what to say and you're on the phone with somebody and you're negotiating a deal, hang up when you're talking. When you're talking, nobody hangs up on themselves.
Yeah.
Early on in this business in the 80s, I used to hang up on myself a lot. I would be talking to Mrs. Seller and I'd say, Mrs. Seller, I really like what you're click. And then I'd have to think about it for a couple of minutes and say, okay, I'll go that direction.
Yeah.
And I literally would hang up on, never hang up on them, okay? Hang up on yourself, nobody does it. And that is a note
I love that.
From Jimmy Napier, one of my greatest mentors.
I love that. So hang up on your mom. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. See you guys later.